Before we even get into the topic this week, I have so much to cover. First, I need to take a second and acknowledge that one of my favorite writers, Gore Vidal, has just passed away. I'm very sad. He wrote one of the very first gay books in US history, and he was just very influential and an amazing writer. And if you haven't read anything by him, read The City and the Pillar, because it's just great, and I'm very sad. The next thing I want to say is welcome to Daina. Hello. I'm glad you're the new Friday. Jen mentioned this, but Carla is switching to Thursday, so Daina is going to be Friday, and we've fleshed out our week, and we still have room for guest vloggers. Everyone who auditioned was so amazing, and we still have some amazing people who have been guest vloggers before, and we've just got a great group and amazing viewers, so thank you so much to everyone for being everything all the time. Before I get into the topic, I need to talk about something called structuralism in linguistics. Structuralism came about from this guy named Saussure, who talked about the signifier and the signified. So basically, his whole thing with the signifier and the signified was that what you talk about doesn't necessarily mean what it means. An example of this is, if I say the word chair, everyone in their mind is maybe going to think of a chair, but what they think of is going to be completely different for every person. You might think of a sofa, you might think of a chair like I'm sitting in now, you might think of a throne, you might think of all sorts of different things, and so the signifier, chair, is different from the signified, which is something that you sit in. So when we talk about diets, and how diets are bad, and how diets are this and diets are that, I need to make sure that we're talking about the right thing, because a diet, in its most strict sense, or how I signify the word diet, is just how you eat. You know what I mean? It's just your regimen of food. So in that sense, everyone has a diet. Humans have diets, you know. It just depends on what you eat. It's not a matter of how little or how much you eat, or if you're restricting it, or if you're only eating bread lumps that week or whatever, you know. But I think that this week we're actually talking about more of strict diets that you put yourself on in order to lose weight or what have you. My mom would get on diets from time to time, and sometimes I would join her, and for like 3 days, and then I would stop, and I just always liked eating and the food and like the taste of food more than I did the diet and what was supposed to come of it. But recently I was talking to a coworker of mine who said something really interesting. She said that she was getting back on a diet. She was talking about how she likes being on a diet just because of the simple fact of regime. You know, she likes having a certain amount of food to eat every day at different times, and these portions, you know, that microwavable food that you eat, she likes having that because it's orderly and it's nice, and it actually made a lot of sense to me and made me think that that might be one reason to pursue a diet like that. An old classmate of mine would eat the same food. I think it was pasta with grilled chicken and red peppers, or like bell peppers, pieman. I don't know how you say it in other countries. So bell peppers, pasta, and grilled chicken for every meal. Because for him and for what he was going for in his life, that was the perfect food. I can't say that diets are evil, and I don't want to say that, because that's really oversimplifying, and that's also really taking away my signified instead, and adding like a weird definition that I don't really necessarily subscribe to. So those are sort of my thoughts on diets and what they are and what they can mean to others. And to me, basically, I just sort of eat what I like, and that's about it.